Let me get
Fucking
So I'm back and I was scrolling through Twitter while I was waiting. And so the Spotify Wrapped came out this like today or yesterday. I forgot about that. And
him either yesterday or today. I think it was yeah, it was yesterday.
but
At least that's when I looked at mine.
yeah, I don't use Spotify, so I don't get that. But um looking at the tweets about it, and the first tweet I see is stop telling people not to put Spotify screenshots on social media. I like seeing people who are mentally ill. I mean, it's fair. It's
Not wrong.
entirely fair. My wedding Spotify. Hold on, I wanna see. I wanna see.
Long shots with the fucking AK-74U, which is classified as an AR in this game, is really annoying. Like I get it, use a 7.62 and all, but like, god dang, it's not that special.
Oh my god, this man is so bland. Would you like to hear his 5 artists that he was listening
What?
to? Number one is Drake, second is Kanye West, third is Juice WRLD, fourth is Lil Baby, and the fifth is Kendrick Lamar. Bro, you have got to be the utmost basic person I've ever seen.
Facts,
This man likes listening to the same person 5 different times.
right?
All right, let's actually get into the fucking podcast before we before we get absolutely blasted by Missy. I don't care. But so oh, I done messed up. There we go. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. There is a reason I'm on Twitter because there is an ARG that's been going on since like 2018, and I've been following it since 2019, and it's quite nice. Let me pull up docs so I can look at my reference sheet. Basically, I'm going to put this in the most basic way possible. In this ARG, there is no more sunlight. That is, I wish I was joking when I said that is the story. That is literally the story for like the first, like this first little section we're gonna go through. It's literally nothing but where is sun, sun no show. But it's kind of funny to watch because the main character, who we still don't have a name for, other than we're just gonna go with TSV for short. That's all we know. That we don't know their name. We know other characters' name, but their name, nah. And so the three characters or the three main people we're gonna be looking at are TSV, obviously, Tucker, and then Nat. And it makes me sad because my girl Nat over here just doesn't come in until like June, June of 2018. Oop, come on, no Twitter. Thank you, thank you. Uh, yeah, July 30th of 2018. And I don't even think we get past the month of May because it makes me sad because Nat is such a good character. She's so fucking funny for no reason. But basically, I'm gonna skip through a lot of the stuff because a lot of it is exactly what this is. Where is the sun? So we start on April 30th, where PSV states that it's late into the morning and there is no sun. Like it's still pitch black out, and they can hear sirens in the next county over, but there is no weather alert or anything like that. So they then send a video, or they then post a video of them standing in darkness, really, and I'll let it play out, and I'll explain what I assume it is. Oh no, this is the this is not the right video. This is the CNN report that they made, or that they showed that, right. I'll let play.
We are receiving an influx of reports of ransacking and looting from New York, Chicago, Los Angeles, Dallas, and Washington, D.C., with hundreds more isolated incidents coming in hourly. The president made a public statement this morning urging people to remain calm and stay in their homes.
So it's a pretty basic CNN post. Just don't be a just don't set buildings on fire, and then places like Texas and Washington D.C. are just like no, and start lighting things on fire with the rioting. So it's TSV then goes on to say that the power keeps going in and out, and then posts this video, which I will explain after it plays. So they show what they think is the noises they keep hearing outside, but if you look very closely at this very low quality dark footage, you can see this flash of a red light, and then it changes to white at one point. If I can find that point, where is it? It's kind of like there it is. You see the light right there, and you can watch it turn red for a second. This will be very common, and you will see this in just a few minutes, but that is very important that it changes to red. Just keep that in mind. So we get a few more updates talking about there's gunshots outside, still dark, and now the news isn't even coming on. They're trying to save battery life because they don't want to hit the power. They don't know if the power's just gonna come up. And they state that some of it they are pretty sure is gunfire, but the other noises they don't really know. And then this happens a decent bit in the first half of the story, where TSV decides it's a good idea to let people on Twitter vote for what they should do, and everyone tells them to go outside. And then I went outside, saw something out there, and I really can't explain it, but I want to show you. So then we get this video, which is quite cool. Still got really terrible Twitter video quality, but it's fine. Also, I would like to point something out here. You can see that TSV, like you can see their feet in a bit of a way. And I'm the only person that thinks they walk absurdly weird, like really weirdly in. Like, watch this again and watch how they walk in like brush in just the woods. They make such large steps for no reason. But I'll let this play out once it gets to the point. Like, obviously it's meant to be dramatic, but still I hate this. Also, who puts their camera at the ground? Or their flashlight at the ground? They try showing you that there's no sun pointing the light out. Oh wait, did I miss the cool audio cue? Hold on. Yeah, there it is. Oh, there we go. So they hear what sounds like someone hitting a garbage can. I'm gonna be completely honest with you, that is exactly what it sounds like. It literally sounds like someone. No, are you here right now? Can you pull up the Discord stream real quick, and then just watch and tell me exactly what you hear. I'll have it at full volume, so be careful if you have headphones in. You hear this? You hear this motherfucker just like for like a couple seconds, even though they walk probably like 10 feet into their backyard. I will be making fun of TSV this entire time because TSV is just kind of a stupid person. But no, are you watching?
Yeah, it's quick.
Oh, well played.
You can go ahead and play it.
There we go. It literally sounds like someone took a metal baseball bat to a dumpster. That's exactly what it sounds like. And then they, for some reason, get spooked by this. I don't know why you would. It's just metal on metal. And then they start looking around, and then they turn off the light for no reason. And then we get the first thing of the clickers. Woo! So I mentioned earlier that those flashing red lights would actually mean something, and I still can't explain much, but we just see this thing. We don't really see much of it. I don't think I can show. Yeah, they turn away too quickly, but I could show you an outline of how like weird they kind of look. And then they just run off. Stop being fat, TSV. So after this video, they don't even touch, like they don't even speak about like the flashing light besides I think 3 or 4 times. Yeah, they don't really talk about it. They only talk about it once and it was just like still shaking. But they look for stars, they can't see it, which I will touch on once I finish this. Day 3, still no daylight, it's getting colder. This, if temperature will become a very big thing later, very later into the story. Person just ran by on my street. The two of the same flashing lights I saw yesterday were following him, and they were gone by the time I got my phone out to record. So it's very weird that there are no stars out. I don't know why you would look for a planet. I'm gonna be completely honest. If you can't even see stars, what's the point in even looking for a planet? Right. But they state that it could be because of clouds or something else. Well, if you go back up to the top, where it still says, I can hear tornado signs, but the weather radar is clear, you can also tell that it isn't clouds. So it's quite obvious that they're hinting that there is something not, like, not, right. The sun is just not gone, or it's just not allowed to be daylight. It's that something is covering it up. And then they see that reception goes out, no signs of activity, and then immediately after this, they post a video that just says something flew over my house. Is this the funny one? This is the funny one. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It kind of sounds like a helicopter, just a really bad audio clip of a helicopter. So I'm gonna say it's a helicopter for right now. They state I couldn't see it too dark outside, but a wave of heat just came over me. Feels like the temperature increased by 10 or 15 degrees. So if you go back up here where it says, where I talked about temperature being important, this must mean that there was nothing flying over TSV, or that there was nothing over TSV. But when something does get above them, it warms up. Yeah, they state that it wasn't a helicopter. I mean, to be fair, it does sound like a helicopter. You can hear the actual blade splitting, like, right about here. That little, like, clipping you hear is the rotors. They probably did just use a helicopter audio clip, but whatever. You get the point. And then we finally get a message that is not from TSV, stating that he finally, or they just finally got a text from one of their friends, and that's where we'll go up into chapter 1.2. I have no idea how many chapters there are. I think we went to 1.5. This picture is so funny. I love it so much. So we first get our text from our unknown person, who I will spoil because do they actually state their name in this section? I'm confused because they never really state the name. Oh, it's because it's right here. Well, his name is Daniel, and that's how I'm going to pronounce it. If anyone says that I'm wrong, teach me how to pronounce it, and I will pronounce it that way. Daynon is a very complicated name to pronounce in English because guess what? English is dumb. So they get into contact, go back and forth about what's been going on. Daniel's still to drive 2-day drive away. And the TSV state asks, "What have you seen?" And Daniel replies, "You have no idea." All I'm gonna say is that, like, for the next 2 chapters, you will not like Daniel. No one ever will like him. He's kind of a weirdo. He's really uncomfortable. Then TSV states we have a problem, and then we get the infamous dark man just standing there menacingly. I will go into those replies in a moment. Hey, Twitter. But we see a dark man just menacingly staring there. I do want to point something out. This could be just a visual glitch, but zoom in a touch. There we go. You can see oh wait, hold on. No, I don't have to zoom in on this. I could just open up the image and can't I? Yeah. Okay. So you can see these little wisps of what looks to be light just kind of floating around. Like there, specifically here, like obviously you got that there, but they kind of look like, I don't know, like worms in a way. And you can see that there is another person, or just what looks to be another person sitting right here. I don't know if stream's picking that up well. Stream picking that up well? It is, okay. I'll point it out in editing where you can kind of make out the person's face. And then if we go back, we go over to here. Oh, hold on. Let me put on BRB. It logged me into my other Twitter account, and I don't know why. I don't want to be on that Twitter account. It's cringy. Specifically, it's just my one that I use personal. It's my personal one, not my Twitch one. Okay. Oop. Alright, sorry about that. Are we good? We're good. Okay. Scroll down, go over to this one. Then we open up this tweet. Okay, this guy did a terrible job. There we go. This guy did a good job. And you can really see, and then open to 10. Oh boy, there we go. That site's not good. Zoom in, and then you could definitely make it out a little bit better that there is a person just kind of chilling there. Now, I want to say for the time being, that this isn't very significant. I still, to this day, after following this for like 3 years, I still don't know what it is. From my guess, I would assume it's what's providing light going forward, not backwards, and this is like part of the actual production and not meant to be a thing. But I do think these little like wisps of warm light are. Anywho, Daniel, or they state that he hasn't moved and he's just been kind of sitting there with his back towards him for a bit. Daniel, he sends it, and TSV sends it to Daniel, and Daniel was just like, "No, go away." Like any reasonable person, this is the only time I will be like, Daniel did something good. It's because he's being a basic human being of, oh my, Noah.
Yes.
If you see someone standing just blankly out your front door, what are the 2 options you got?
Tell them to go away. If they don't, well, he's dead.
Exactly. You either
You leave or you die.
yeah, no, no, this is the 2 options you get. You either leave or he dies. There's no in between. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
and it's
I'm giving you 2 options: to leave or die.
yeah. And instead of just like doing either of those options, the main character over here is just like, I'm gonna take a, like, I understand taking a photo of it, but like it's quite obvious that they have just been staring at him for like 30 minutes. for no reason. They're just staring. Um, and then what I find funny is it does exactly what happens. And anytime you want to like look at an angle in a first person shooter, as soon as they look away, he just disappears. Not even joking. Straight up just disappears as soon as they look away. And then we get a very,
Oh, dude.
very spooky text of concern. And then we get this boing boing sound. The funny knock knock. I love the knock knock. It's so funny. Price being polite, he's just like, let me in. Really can't make anything out, even if I did brighten up the video. It's so grainy on Twitter, you can't see it well. This man is so desperately trying to get in. Find it funny. And then they go silent for the rest of the day until the next day, and they just like, I am hiding. They haven't heard any more knocking. They got a wooden baseball bat that they hope doesn't break. And then we are like, I think over almost a month into this. Let me see. April 30th. Yeah, so we are well over a month into the. Wait, no, is May after April? Yes. So we're like a week or two into this. And then TSV has the grand idea of posting, if anyone knows anything about what is going on, please message me. 911 and other emergency lines are not responding, and the only radio I have is out in the car. So I'm trying to gather as much information online as I can. My friend, people have been doing that since the beginning. But to be honest, I'm just gonna say that it was just so that they could get this weird guy from British Columbia to pop in. This guy really isn't relevant. He just kind of pops up twice and then leaves. And then the only information he gives is don't look into the red light, or you'll become like the guy who was just kind of menacingly standing there. And then they make this funny reference where someone is just like, they post a tweet and add in TSV and just like, it's sunny, there's a light out here, here's a picture of it. And they're like, I don't know, I had no idea how to explain this. I don't think they were prepared for someone to like 100% out them like that, and they were just like, I don't know. Because you have to remember, this is like a week or two into this, and this is quite a very small ARG, at least at the time it was. It's gotten pretty big now. And then we go on. We get another text from the weirdo, and it's stating that he's still about 8 to 9 hours out, and he has no gasolini. And since the power's out, Noah, have you ever seen a non-electric gas pump?
Once or twice.
The only ones I have ever seen are like the old school kerosene ones. But that's not
I
gas,
see. The
that's
only reason
oil.
why I know, only reason why I've seen a few is because my grandpa owns them. Because
Oh,
he
I
has his own
forgot.
gas. He has his own gas tank that he fills up, and he uses that.
That makes sense though. But that's also because your family is like, you in general, like, your entire family is somewhat old school. Besides like,
No, we're just weird.
you're you know what, you're fucking weird. Um,
Not as
and
weird as
then
them Mormons, I swear.
you're a Mormon yourself. Shut up.
Barely. I only am because of my parents.
Just remember, if you disassociate with the Mormon religion, you are no longer allowed to see your family.
Not by me.
Why is Kanye trending in the United States along with Alex Jones? What's going on? Hold
Who
on.
knows?
Before I continue with this, I wanna what's going on here? What's going on with Kanye? He's on the Alex Jones. Okay, hon, I gotta mute. I gotta mute stream for this real quick because I want to know what he's saying. Give me 1 second. Okay, okay, yeah, I'm glad I muted that. No, all I'm gonna say is let me just mute stream one more time so I can edit this out. Do more about it after this, but golly. They say someone is screaming outside. Oh, this is a really loud one. Yeah. It's kind of weird. Also, I love how TSV is just kind of shining a light randomly out there, trying to find someone who is screaming. And then you can hear that weird thing fly over again. And if you look super carefully at one of the points, you can see the light kind of flash over the guy. Where is he? There he is, right there. You can see it like kind of right there where the light is. You gotta see him right there. And then they were like, I don't want to leave. Who is this? Oh yeah, this is just them responding to replies. And then TSV asks, Daniel, how are you not being found? You were literally in a car. And then Daniel replies, I'm in the car. It's locked and off. That is all. I don't know how this man has gotten away for so long, but he did. It's been really quiet. These two go back and forth about supplies walking around. TSV surprised, but power staying on for so long. Solar lights outside, they actually aren't solar. I have them on a timer outside. I can't turn them off without leaving the house. They are having trouble sleeping now. Oh, this is fun. I can see a faint light outside my bedroom window, going downstairs to check it out. This is such a white person move right here. This is the ultimate white person ghost story kind of.
This is the white girl horror movie.
Exactly. I can see a faint light outside. We have already known that TSV is scared of red lights, but they see a strobing white light and think, "Oh, this person must be good," and they go check it out. And we get more of the clickers. I like calling them clickers because it's funny. And like it's weird because you can see it kind of scanning left to right, and instead of just like getting a distant view of it, they try to get up close and personal with the thing, and then they like get down to avoid being seen, and then eventually they're just kind of looking there, staring directly at it, and then it turns red. Like it's so over dramatic, but it's kind of like actually weird because it feels weird to look at something and then it immediately spots and goes into hunt mode, kind of like Alien. Like I'm trying not to say like just like an alien, but the like the movie The Alien. You get my point. They're surprised. They're um. They can't believe they're still alive, and then Daniel does a quick check to make sure that TSV is a real person by asking what road they used to live on as kids. TSV avoids the question the first time and then answers with Fraser Road, which I've never actually looked this up. Is Fraser Road a real road?
I believe
Fraser
it is actually.
probably is. We got Fraser Street in Stanton. there's a lot of Fraser roads. You got a couple in Virginia, Illinois, Ohio. You know what? It would make sense if this took place in Ohio. This is definitely in Ohio. Just a day in Ohio. And then we get another text from Daniel that just says beware of the headlights, like a graffiti on the wall. So I will still refer to them as clickers because clickers are funny. And headlights are just kind of boring. Their mental state slowly starts to get down. Tucker, let's go. So we finally get to Tucker's part of the story, which Tucker is just a random person who lives out in Virginia, which is kind of funny because at one point, if you actually go to Tucker's page, I will show this. This is just some fun things for the people that live here with us. We scroll all the way down. I believe. Oh wait, no, I could just go to media. Can't I? Media. We scroll all the way down to the. That's less important. Very stereotypical Virginian house. Yeah, we don't want to get into any of that. Yeah. But if you look over here, this looks like it's either in Richmond or Roanoke. One of the two. Which that doesn't apply to anyone outside of the 3 people that live in Virginia that are watching this at the moment. But that definitely looks like someplace I've seen in Roanoke. But then again, Roanoke is a very basic city. So
That it is.
back. Here we are. Where? Oh, okay. So we get our first introduction with Tucker, and Tucker states, so to give you some background on my news, Tucker, I live in Virginia, was working a night shift when all of this shenanigans. By the way, I will say this, Tucker, we were never given a true age of any of the characters besides Nat, because Nat's a child. And so Tucker seems like either a millennial or a boomer. There's no in between. He's either in his mid-30s or like 47 to 50. Because of just the way he talks and acts is so... It's so confusing to decipher what is going on with Tucker 24/7, and it's why he's one of the worst characters I've ever read. You'll see later in a bit why. So to give you some background, my name is Tucker. I live in Virginia. I was working a night shift when all of the shenanigans went down. Just about to clock out for the day when I realized the sun wasn't up like it normally was when I clocked out. Kind of shrugged it off at first, but after a few hours, I was getting really worried. I lived relatively close. I lived close to a relatively large city, so you can imagine why I had to go through when a riot started. Which also leads me to believe that he is probably towards the Richmond Roanoke area. Maybe even no, Charlottesville doesn't look like that. Maybe Harrisonburg doesn't look like that either. He could be living
Richmond?
some. What?
Manassas.
Manassas, yeah, Manassas is a decent big city. And then
It's a factory city too.
makes sense. Long story short, when I was heading out of town to get away from this, met this guy named Flynn who was talking about these things that hunt people down. By the way, I promise you, Flynn is not important whatsoever. He never has been, and he never will be. At this point, I didn't believe him, but I started to notice that the crowds and traffic congestion on highways started slowly dissipating. Before you know it, the roads were completely empty, terrifying shit. Flynn and I started traveling together after that. We had been finding dark places to hide, enough food and water to stay alive, and we were doing pretty good for the first week. And then just a few days ago, he came back aside and after taking a lead and started losing it, going on and on, just talking nonsense. It went on for days, and I was worried that all the stress from the situation was getting to him. But one day it all stopped. He wouldn't speak, even acknowledge me. He stood there like a statue, similar to the person who was standing outside TSV's house. Probably a full 12 hours, and he attacked me out of nowhere. I tried and tried to stop him and keep him away, but he just wouldn't stop. I had to stop him. There was nothing else I could do. Anyway, I've been living on my own for the past couple of days. It's been tough, but thankfully I found an area with power and internet, which is why I could talk to you. And then TSV is just like, cool story. Sorry. Then Tucker's just like, please share my story. I want the people to know about what happened. And TSV is just like, yeah. Uh, uh, Daniel doesn't respond, and then he starts hearing and then TSV starts hearing noises outside again. It's quite boring to listen to. It's just banging on the window. And then TSV says that it sounds like someone's banging. Yeah. And then they state it got in. I don't know how, but I am hiding. And then we get our first instance up close of one of the cool licking machines. Stop breathing so hard. Yes, let's make as much noise as humanly possible. This is why you own a Canon WD-40.
Because it's just useful, dang it.
Yeah, like they went to go shut the door and I heard the world's loudest squeak and I'm like, okay, this is why you own a Canon WD-40 at all times. They go for a
You
little.
can never not use it.
Yeah. TNC states that they're gonna be gone. They might be gone for a while to stay hidden. And then Tucker is just like, yeah, stay hidden. I come back for this and this only. It's the last time we see Tucker for like a good chapter or two. TC says that it's finally gone and they don't understand how I got in, and but the front door is unlocked and completely open. And then some decent news is Daniel is back. I don't know if you consider that good news, but yeah, sure. And he's better. And then TSV is like, I need to get serious about securing my house. How about you just don't stay there anymore? I mean, it's not like anyone else is living around you. So they do some really old school methods, such as like cans in front of the door, cans hanging for sounds. Tucker comes back for a final time stating he's got food and he wants to help TSV. And then once again we get a it's getting colder again. I'll come back to that in a minute. They're running low on food, found a car. And this is where TSV just starts to die slowly on the inside. Because let me go to the this one is stupid. Aiden did not set this up right. By the way, Aiden is the creator of this whole story. They've been increasingly paranoid and they can't sleep at night. Stuff that you would expect from this. They put flour on the ground to see if the flour is disturbed. And then we finally get an up close look at the clicker. Let's go. This is my favorite part of the story because I can make fun of the whole body. The person from British Columbia who messaged me earlier just sent me this. It's them hiding behind a box, and we got a very tall, skinny person just kind of standing in there. They have a really boxy ass head. It looks like a brick.
Oh, my boy.
Just say brick, my boy. I'm going to kill you. You are dead tomorrow. Um, but yeah, they're just kind of chilling there, doing their thing, and then they don't ever really respond. TSV slowly starts to die. Tucker makes another post for no reason, saying that his family's on the West Coast and he's on the East Coast, so that's cool. And then PSV decides to do what Daniel did and ask a verifying question. Just curious, what year did you graduate high school? And instead of like insisting on answering the question after Daniel is just like, what? PSV just lets it go. Like, no, Ian, why is Nazis trending in the United States? What the fuck is going on here? That's why I don't use Twitter anymore. Come on. No one really trusts Daniel.
What's trending right now?
Nazis, apparently. We got
Because of funny.
NHL, Spotify Wrapped, Marcus Jones, Nazis, and then Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. For some
The amount of bipolarism in that.
you got sports, you got music, you got more sports. You got a fascist regime,
Yeah, fascist regime and freaking.
then Guardians of the Galaxy. Like this is why do people use Twitter? The only reason I'm using it now is because I found this like 4 years ago. I find it kind of cool. No one really trusts Daniel at this point. No one ever really did. No one ever will. Daniel's kind of a dick this entire time. They haven't responded. The person said British Columbia person hasn't responded at a bit. They asked for the Daniel asked for the address, and we do another vote to trust Daniel, and no one and everyone says no. Daniel gets really pissed off. Dude, where are you? I've been waiting. Answer my question. What year did we graduate high school? We don't have time for this. Answer my question. Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm sorry to say this, but I'm not sure I trust you. Likewise. Well, I guess that's it then. And then Tucker just kind of butts in on this conversation for no reason, stating that Daniel is pretty suspicious, but TSV is acting worse than Daniel. So there's that for you. And then TSV just kind of snaps at everyone, stating that they can't sleep, they don't have any water, they've been drinking water from the faucet. I don't understand why this is such a big deal. I haven't slept because of screaming. I ran out of bottled water days ago, but I've been drinking from this faucet. My guy, it's faucet water. It's fine.
People used to drink out of hoses. Shut the.
I still will drink out of a hose. That shit is absolutely.
Same.
That is the best water imaginable, and I don't know why it tastes so good.
It's because of the minerals.
Honestly, it's probably because out where we live, we get either everything from a well or we just get it from a oh my god, what's it called? No, what's the stupid things where it's a stream underwater? Spring.
Yeah, spring, yeah.
Very close to running out of food, and I hope losing my only close friend will be worth it. Happy, like, TSV, if you don't shut your stupid ass up, I really don't like TSV. I really don't. I only really read this story when Nat came into the picture because Nat is such, like, she really just puts everything together, and it's kind of funny. They just found that the flour was messed up. They don't know if it was Daniel or not, and then they start packing up, which it looks to be one of those stupid little briefcase bags. No, you know what I'm talking about when I say a journalist pack, like you would see a journalist be wearing.
A satchel type thing.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like a purse. Yeah, that's what they have, and then they have like a book bag in the back. From the looks of it, it looks like a windshield cover. Apparently, I still don't know to this day what this is. If someone could help me decipher what this is it like a foldable table? Is it like a card cover, windshield cover? Is it accordion? I don't know. But you can see they pack essentials. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I have looked at this so many times. Oh, it's a Ziploc bag. I'm stupid. But then there's that. I think that's about it. Yeah, this is where I stopped. So they go over to their neighbor's house where they heard the screaming, and they're staying low, trying to stay away from streetlights, and only really using their flashlight sparingly. But you can see here that they have more than enough light to not use their flashlight. And I'm going to stop there because the next event, as you can see, gets a little bit more chaotic. So we'll be going through oh, Blackwater. We'll get there. Yeah, I'm not gonna show you everything here, more or less, but we it gets pretty chaotic pretty quickly, and there's a lot of me going over things that will happen later on. I know tonight was very boring because I had to go over some very basic stuff first, but now you understand what temperature means because I will go over it one last time. Let me go back to 1 point. No, it's just my dad going off at my dog. I was like, why do I hear my dad being angry in the background? I can't find where it's like it's getting cold again. Let me see if I can. Is it 1.2? It's not 1.2. Because there is a specific point where it's like it's getting cold. Oh yeah, it's been really quiet today. I noticed it warmed up after that thing flew over my house again last night. Well, this is also the section where the click comes back. So if you can't already take a guess, temperature correlates with how active these clickers are. If it is warmer, they are highly active in that area, and if it's colder, they are not in that area. So that's something very basic you will need to learn. Another basic thing is sound and light also attracts them. There are people that if you look into the red light become hostile. That's another good thing. We don't like Daniel. That's a big part of the story. Tucker is weird. That's another big part of the story, even though Tucker is just kind of boring and just mental 90% of the time. So I'm sorry if tonight was kind of boring, but it is a lot of just going over the very, very, very basic parts of what this is going to happen and where it's leading. But that's about all for tonight. I'll see you tomorrow, Noah. You have a good one.
It must.
Alright. See ya. I'll see everyone else tomorrow. Have a good night. Take care and be safe.